Cardinals season, let's jump over to them. They had a very, very, very rough end to this week. Started out not so great. They played the Angels. They lost 5-4 in 10 innings, 9-7 in 11 innings, and then they came out and won 12-5 in the third game on Wednesday. Traveled to Boston for their home opener on Friday. They lost 13-9. They lost 5-4, and oh yeah, by the way, it got rained out yesterday, so now we had a doubleheader today. They lost 5-4 in the first game in 10 innings, and then they lost by 2 touchdowns, I believe, today in the second game. And as I see the note, it was 18-7, so they
Yes.
lost by 11. It was
Yeah.
close. Uh, Not a great start, but it's really not a terrible start. I mean, it could be a lot better. This team is a couple pitching outings away from being, let's call it 6-2
Well, we
versus
talked
4-5.
about how good the pitching was in the first 3 games. They've definitely regressed
Yeah,
back to the mean. That's fine. It's so early on. Like, I understand that. The one that bugs me is the one that they lost, where Helsley basically walked 5 guys. They were up 42
yeah,
in the
today.
ninth. Yeah, today. That
Yeah,
one is one of those games where you look back after 162 game seasons, say like, well, okay, 5 or 6 games go a different way. We're in the playoffs. That's one that I'm going to look back. I don't care about the 18-7 loss. That's not a that
no, and
happens.
especially on the second game of a doubleheader,
Yeah.
that makes it tough. They had rain again this morning before the first game of the doubleheader, so that made it tricky. The other game that I would say that you definitely want back is that 9-7 loss in 11 innings against the Angels.
Yes.
That was the game that they were winning. The bullpen gave it up, and then they had two chances, not just one chance that they scored runs. They scored 3 runs in the 10th inning. Both
Mhm.
teams scored 3 runs in the 10th inning, and then they just couldn't come up with more into the 11th. So it's rough, but they're hitting, and that's the thing. Like they're first in batting average, first in on base percentage, or second in on base percentage, second in slugging percentage. They're the second best hitting team to a team that is the New York Yankees, that are absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. Like it's the New York Yankees and then everybody else right now as far as hitting goes. So
Yeah.
um, they're hitting really well. Their pitching is average. At this point, you got to get rid of Miles Michaelis. Like, let's call this done and eat the salary and let Garcefo, let McGreevy. When Tink Hence gets better, let him do it. Quinn Matthews, I don't care. Get somebody besides Miles Michaelis on that bump. Um, if we could pitch, we'd be okay. I mean, the pitching is mid tier at the best. The problem that I see, which I think is going to be an overall concern throughout the year at least, is we are bottom three on hit percent or hard hit percentage. I think we're at like 11% as far as hard hit percentage, and then we are bottom three on the type of hit, so line drive, fly ball, all that stuff. That's not good.
Yeah, because that kind of means that it's not sustainable.
No, they're hitting the ball hard. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah.
And
So
we
a note really quick. I saw this stat earlier today before the 18-7 massacre. They set a franchise record 8 consecutive games to start a
Yep.
season with at least 10 hits.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Love to see that. Yeah. Ivan Herrera getting hurt, going down. Do we think that's going to be long term, and how's that going to affect things?
So they said during the Sunday night broadcast that he is going to go on the 10-day IL. He did not sustain structural damage, which is awesome, and he was walking around pain free in the clubhouse. So it sounds like it'll be a short stint. It is going to hurt us. I mean, John Denton tweeted out in the middle of the games, Herrera is 4 home runs and 11 RBIs, second most among NL players, slashing a 400, 455, and an 1100 slash line. So he's been one of the best hitters in the league, probably next to, well, whoever in the NL. I don't even list off who it was, and Aaron Judge. So, I mean, to be in that category, that's pretty good.
And without a torpedo bat.
And without the torpedo, yeah.
Pajes is not a chump though, so dude can hit,
No, he's just not a hitter. That's the problem.
but he's hitting so far. At least through a small
Yeah,
sample size, he is hitting.
he is hitting, yes.
Yeah.
And he's a better defender. I mean, he threw out a guy on a pick play at first base today, so that's good. There's a lot of heat going around Major League Baseball right now for the catchers that get down on one knee, and he is one of them. But I mean, it's pitch framing versus throwing guys out. We're so used to Yachty that would throw guys out. It is what.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, you're still fine with your 80 wins?
Yeah, I
Still
mean,
okay with that?
100%. Like this team is a team, and again, I've said this multiple times in different text threads. I think I said it on our podcast. This is a team that could win 90 games. This is also a team that could lose 90 games. So you average that out, that's 80.
I feel like we've talked about it in like 3 straight episodes. I'm just gonna keep asking you that question throughout the
Yeah,
season. I'm just very curious if it's ever going to change.
no, not at all.